And hello, people out there in internet land, YouTube land, wherever you might be. Um, First, I'm going to ask a question, and then I'll get into the video. I need ideas. I need suggestions on a new opening. I've had two different openings. One was mine and Carolyn's opening, but that was ours. I don't use that one anymore. Then I had started a new opening for the videos, but that was like my opening. That was just for me. But now I need an opening for Lisa and myself. So I need an opening. How to introduce at the beginning of my videos, or not intro, well, how to introduce the video, but not getting into the necessarily the content of the video. It's just a generic opening for videos. So anybody who has an idea, please let us know. 250,000 people without power in this general area. That includes New Hampshire, Vermont. It may include Mass. It may include Maine. I don't know if it includes New York State or not, but 250,000 people. And here in our town, we have several areas that are out. I think, what was it, like 30 people? Was it about 30 people in Troy? Oh, 60 some people here in Troy without power, and they're saying it may take up to 3 days or more for people to start getting power back. I saw some photos posted and we're lucky we have power. We did not lose power. We didn't even flicker. Our lights didn't even flicker. Yet the other block, so to speak, down the street. When you live in a semi-rural area, distance is relative, because you live in a place like San Antonio or Houston or Chicago or New York City or LA, then your neighbors, your next door neighbors, are literally next door, feet or yards away. You live in a semi-rural area, and half a mile, 5 miles, that's your neighbor. And you live in a truly rural area, which I would prefer, then it may be 5, 10, 20, 50 miles away for your next door neighbor. So it's relative. Right now, we got something from Helping Hands the other day. I thought it was a single pork tenderloin, actually 2 in the package, and they're in the oven right now. And I seared them, I seasoned them, then I seared them, and now they're in the oven. So anyway, it was like, wow. I will try and provide a link to a Facebook post that we made last night, because I took the beautiful woman that's sitting in that room over there to where the bridge where the Headless Horseman terrorizes people. And we still have some pumpkin on the back of the car. The rain didn't wash it all off, so we're going to have to wash it off, because he saw us, and as we started to take off, he threw his pumpkin, and the back windshield's busted out, and there's pumpkin all over the inside of the car and all over the trunk and everything. And what we did is I took her down to the bridge. It's a covered bridge over in Swansea, New Hampshire. And I went to, you don't cross that bridge. Nobody ever crosses the bridge. The people who cross it die. So I walked up to it, and then all of a sudden I saw this lit jack-o'-lantern being carried by a man on a horse, and I ran back to the car, got in, and we took off. I mean, that was scary. That was some scary stuff. But I'll provide you a link to the photograph. If you look at the photograph on the opposite side of the bridge and to the left, you can just start to see the Headless Horseman. So you got to be careful out there, people. Every year people die up here because of that. So because of the Headless Horseman. So be careful, people. Be very careful. I hope I can remember to put the link in there, but or link to this. Now I was going to say something, and now I'm forgetting what I was going to say. Um, I am still working on my horn. Um, that's stained, wood stain, and it's not staining very well. I could carve something into that, but I'm not going to, at least not right now, because what I'm thinking of doing eventually is buying a much larger horn and then scrimshaw it. Now this is stain. This is the plug for the powder horn. It also is not taking the stain very well. I think the wood is kind of soft. I mean, there's still a lot of moisture in the wood, but it's from a dowel, and I'm just letting it soak. And anyway, so well, my sister is having a birthday on the 8th of next month. Um, I have to do the math to figure out how old she's going to be, but she's getting closer and closer to that big 50. But anyway, oh, I remember what I was going to say. And this goes out to anybody that it would matter to. Uh, a few days ago, I took, or I printed off HIPAA, HIPAA or HIPAA. I forget what HIPAA stands for now. But yeah, and I've had to deal with HIPAA because of volunteer work I've done. So you know, I used to know about that stuff. I don't remember it anymore. But I think I sent 5 release of information requests to 5 uh, one was to my school district. Well, it's the school district that I spent most of my time in. And the other 4 were to institutions that I was in. I guess you could call a school an institution. But I'm not talking about a school. I'm talking about all the schools I went to in that school district. And one of those school years, I went to private school. But the school district paid for it. And eventually that private school became a part of the public school. But interesting that Mrs. Crawford and her mom were our teachers at the private school. It's called Edgemore School on Edgemore Street in Houston, Texas. It was in a church. And that became a part of the school district in Alief Independent School District. And then Mrs. Crawford was she wasn't really my teacher in elementary school. She was a part of the special ed department, but for the kids who had like autism and things like that. So she wasn't really my teacher. She and her mother were kind of in charge of the program. And then in high school, Mrs. Crawford was in charge of another program, but I won't get into all that. But So I sent requests off for my files from the school and from several institutions, and let's just hope they don't want to charge me too much money for the copies of my files. Hopefully, some of them, maybe all of them, will be willing to send me my files at no cost to me. Those institutions do not have to be concerned with me filing lawsuits against them because the statute of limitations has long expired. But actually, one of the places was a job training program that I was involved with. I don't know, to this day, I don't know what transpired. I was kicked out of the program, but nobody ever gave me an explanation or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know why. So we'll find out. But again, that was mid 90s, mid to late, no, mid 90s. No, 96, 97, I think. I think. So statute of limitations is long expired. But I also sent a request to the county health system in Bexar County. Bexar is spelled Bexar. It's Bexar or Behar. And I already know I have 2 files from there that are like 2 or 3 or 4 inches thick. So I don't need all of that. My main purpose in getting these is to help me with a timeline, to help me with figuring out why I was in some of these places, what went on while I was there, diagnosis, IQ tests, various various test results, and anyway, so I already started on a timeline, but it's so generic that I can't really. Some of what I wrote down may be wrong. The one thing I need to do is just to sit down and start writing down stories. I have a book, I believe it's titled How to Write Your Own Life Story. Now, at this point in my life, what was I going to say? At this point in my life, writing my, I don't know what I was going to say. But some of the information I already know from past experience, because I had my charts from one of those institutions. It was the last one I was in. It was the worst one of the 2 worst that I was in. The first and last were the worst. There was outright lies in the chart, so that's why I should go ahead and write some stories the way I remember things without being influenced by what these other people happen to say. Because it's possible that I'm right, it's possible that I'm wrong. It's possible they're right, it's possible they're wrong. It's possible that we both got some things wrong. It's possible we both got some things right. So, we shall see. Um, if anybody would like to gift a 62 caliber Smoothbore flintlock long gun, I'd be happy to have it. If you have one for sale, I'd be happy to have it, depending on how much it costs. I just cannot afford $1,000+ for a 62 caliber smoothbore flintlock. That's really what I want. I don't want to build it. I built the 50 caliber flintlock. It's a piece of blanking junk. Um, it was my first build, so I didn't know what I was doing. I figured, it was a low cost gun, low cost rifle. If I was going to mess up, I was going to mess up, and But if I'm going to spend $1,000 on something, I don't want to mess it up. I don't even want to come close to messing it up. I was looking on Facebook at some historical reenacting type groups, and somebody bought a used long gun, and there was a screw that was stripped, and so just anyway. But I have so many interests that I just can't get to them all, and I sit here and I watch shows on YouTube. So, but there's 12 minutes on the timer, and I wish I had a freaking kitchen island that would make so much. I have like 9 inches by 12 inches at best area to work with. If I had a kitchen island, it had storage underneath it, I could put some things there. The surface would only be used for what I'm cooking, for what I'm prepping, for what I'm prepping, because cooking would not be done on the island. Cooking would be done on the stove or in the oven. But it would stay, the top would remain clear, and the only things that I would use the top for is working on food. I like this apartment, but the kitchen, the way the kitchen is set up, is just annoying. I don't know what else to say. It's just annoying. Um, the um, this year is this Christmas. I don't know how things are going to be. For those who know, I lost my wife the day after Christmas 3 years ago, and Thanksgiving and Christmas have been hard ever since then. And it October through March have always, well, since then have been, well, before that and during that, it's just a difficult time because of the emotions, and financially difficult because Christmas is in December. Then I have car things that have to be dealt with in February. It's always a financially difficult time of year, and then emotionally it's a difficult time of year. But I mean, this is the first. This is going to be the first Christmas I've been with someone since then. I hope everything goes okay. But anyway, what else did I want to say? Anyway, I don't know. I guess I don't have anything else to say. I have to figure out what we're going to eat with the pork tenderloin. Um, so I don't know. Oh, one thing I wanted to do. Hopefully my previous videos. Um, the powder horn. I don't know if the last video I did on the powder horn worked or not. I'm doing, you can see that's supposed to be the Big Dipper. And then, well, actually, it's like this. That's the Big Dipper. And then up here is going to be the North Star. And then, whoops, over here will be the Little Dipper. And then I'm going to put like a map of New Hampshire. Not a detailed map, just basically the shape. Live Free or Die. Molson. I have to look again. My Abenaki name, which is Wolf in Abenaki, or Western Abenaki. And I'm not sure what else I'm going to scrimshaw into this, but what I want to do is get a much larger horn, like a longhorn. And Crazy Crow sells them, but I have to see if they're scrimshaw quality horns or not. And because this one, in my opinion, it's on the small side. If you saw how much powder you actually have to use for a single shot, it wouldn't last all that long with this. So either now one person, I saw a video of one person who had a oil skin or oilcloth bag that he put extra powder in, spare powder, in case he ran out or ran low on powder in his horn. The thing is, you have to be careful about powder. It'll just go off. So, I mean, slightest flame or something, it's dry and, it's designed to ignite. But, yeah, so you have to be careful with that stuff. But anyway, so eventually I might do that. But what I really would like is a 62 caliber smoothbore flintlock. I just don't have the money. Even the two of us together, we couldn't afford it. So I guess I could buy like gift certificates or gift cards from that company, and it would take me 6 months to a year to save up that much. But the other day we were in Joann Fabrics, and I was looking at 100% linen. You have to be careful because some of it is not 100% linen. It's a mix of linen and lycra, linen and cotton linen and nylon or whatever. You can't use that. You have to use 100% linen or wool, and they didn't have the kind of wool I need. They had wool fleece. I don't want that. But anyway, I'm going to make a shirt. I'm going to sew my own shirt, and it's going to be made out of linen. The thing is, the linen was basically $20 a yard. And from what I was looking in this book right here, and there's a couple of patterns in there, more than a couple, and for an adult size hunting shirt, I would need at least 2 yards of linen, and that's $40 right there. That's a lot of money. And now for a child's hunting shirt, period correct hunting shirt, you only need a yard of linen. But I'm not a kid, so. So anyway, I don't know what else to say. Have a great day, bye.